So we have found out the size of the duct for this one. Now that it will be 6 inches. So pag naisulat meron na kayo, then you will going to write here the dimensions. Okay. So to indicate, so this is length, height and width. So this will be 6 inches by 5 inches duct. Now then, so the velocity now, so from 8 meters per second, so we reduce the velocity to how much? So we have the velocity of 9.8 feet per second. So we're going to change this one into 9.8. So we have your velocity of your duct here is 9.8 feet per second. That is almost equals to 3.8 meter per second. 3.8 pala. Sorry, that is 3 meter per second. So let's change this one to 3 meters per second. Okay, now so next we're going to determine what is the size of this duct. So this is 40 cfm. We have the volume flow to 40 cfm. Okay, so same procedure also from before that we have done. So the same also here. So you have here the volume flow rate. So we'll state here. So we're going to size now the duct for your branches. So we have your volume flow rate, which is equal to your area times your velocity. So we have your volume flow rate of 40 cubic feet per minute. Then multiply this one to 1 minute. So we have 60 sec. Okay. Then we have your area. Okay, so that will be height times your width times the velocity. Now you will notice we have the height now of how much? So previously we have the height of 6 inches. So we can use we can reduce the height now to, so let's give the height which is more fabricatable. So kung ano ba 6 inches and 5 inches, so we can assume a given height of will be, let's say this is so let's say this is 4 inches, okay, by 4 inches. So let's assume this is 4 inches times your velocity, which is, this is equal to 4 inches by 4 inches. It will be divided into 12. So this will be so we have the dimension of 0.3 0.33, sorry. So that will be fit. So this will be fit. Then 0.33 fit also. Then you have your velocity. So finally we have your velocity, which is equal to so we have the velocity of 6.2 feet per second. So we have the size of your duct in here. Size of the duct here. So this is 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay. So kung isi-sectional view natin yung duct, so usually yung mangyayari dyan, so wag yung from 4 inches, so magre-reduce ka nyan. Iside mo yan, you have your reducer here, then you have the branches here. So usually this is 6 inches by 5 inches, and this will become your 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay. So usually kaya na may itsura ng duct. You have your branch shoe or reducer. Okay. Take off branch. So you have hair flowing, then reduce from here. So what I have here is the ratings of the sound decibels. So for the required spaces, kung ano yung spaces na mostly sinusupply mo ng air. So we have here the design guidelines from the HVAC. So we have your background sounds in the room. So makikita nyo, we have different type of occupancies. So we have your hotel, office buildings, hospitals, clinics, performing arts and spaces, laboratories, churches, schools, libraries, indoor stadiums. Okay, so sa kabila niyan we have your RC. So your RC stands for that is recommended criteria. So we have the following criteria decibels for residences and condominiums also. So that is ranging from 25 to 35. Hotel, motels, individual room or suites, we have 25 to 35. Now, so you're going to choose from here sa pagitan ito. For example, we have individual rooms or suites, so hotels and motel functions, so we have 25 to 35. So I will choose maximum 35. Then you will go dito sa the maximum recommended air duct velocity. So from the design criteria, so I choose the 35. So we have choices here. So in a shaft or above drywall ceiling, okay. So location of the duct. So main duct location in shaft. So in shaft, so take note. So maki-counter kasi natin sa machine design. When we say shaft, so that is yung literally ang sasabihin mo pag shaft is yung shafting, diba? But in constructions and also in mga buildings, ang shaft na sinasabi nila is iba. So if I have a flooring sample, I will draw a 3D perspective of a drawing. Then usually ang sinasabing shaft is yung butas. Okay, so other construction makikita mo yan. So this is the flooring. Okay, flooring yan. So you have your slab or concrete. So this is concrete. So usually yung sinasabi lang shaft ay ito yun, yung butas, shaft. Okay. So yan yung architecturally term. And also sometimes they call it void area. Okay, so ibig sabihin butas yan. So may nakalagay na kagad yan dyan X. So ibig sabihin yan na X na yan, ibig sabihin butas siya. Okay, so don't forget. So sooner or later you'll be working at ma-experience nyo yan, makikita nyo sa mga architectural drawing. Ay, may butas. Ano ba itong void na ito? Ano ba itong shaft na ito? So ibig sabihin ng shaft is butas kung sa Tagalog. Okay, so we have your in shaft. So big sabihin when we say duct location is in shaft, so big sabihin yan that is I will draw it in 3D perspective. So when we say duct in shaft, so may butas ka dyan, then yung duct mo is paakyat ng ganon. So when you say shaft, okay, makit ng ganun yung duct mo. Doon siya dumaan sa butas. Okay, so yan ang explanation. Or above drywall ceiling. Okay, so yung drywall ceiling, so usually when we say drywall, that is dry as in to yung wall, typically literally defined. Then ceiling, so usually sa ceiling. So above suspended or acoustic ceiling, so we have also this one, acoustic ceiling. So when we say acoustic, that is insulated with parang hindi masyadong maingay. So duct located within the occupied spaces. So duct located within occupied spaces. So that is, for example, ano yan? For example, if you have a room, so this is a sectional view of the room. Okay, so that is yung duct nagpassing from one room to another. So yun yung sinasabi niyan. So if you have your door here, so yung duct mo nag-cross to the other room. Now going back, so we selected 35. So we have going to choose from here in shaft or above drywall ceiling. Okay, so drywall ceiling tayo. So pwede tayo pasok tayo sa drywall ceiling since yung mostly sa natin ang installation ng katulad nito. So you're going to check the sectional view nito or nito that is above the ceiling, which is yung floor or slab. So kung ano i-draw natin yan, ipapakita to show you. So if we have here the sectional view of the concrete, so this is your concrete. Okay, usually then yung duct mo are passing on the dry ceiling or concrete ceiling or slab. Then so let's put a plug here. Then you have your suspended ceiling here. So the support, this is the support of the ceiling. So this is the sectional view. So yan yung, for example, this is your ceiling. Okay, so ganun siya ang explanation na. So we choose the 35. So makita rectangular criteria, the rectangular duct. Okay, so you have 12.7. Then circular duct is 70.8. So mapansin nyo, we have the maximum velocity, which is 12.7. Okay, so again, kung itong pinili mo, so you have to consider, so you have to balance kasi, so you have to balance yung kayang ipabricate in duct, and also you have to check also the velocity. So if I choose this one, 35, so dapat yung velocity which shall not exceed dito sa 12.7. So since nakita natin we have uses 6.2 feet per second. So if we're going to convert that one to meter per second, so 6.2, okay, so that is 1.88. So meter per second. So at least we are not above. So this yung value na ano natin, yung criteria. So the value of your velocity should be less than the velocity. So what we have is 1.8 meter per second. So that is less than doon sa maximum. So that is okay. Okay? So you have to balance nga yung to check also. So kung mag-exceed ka doon, hindi na po pwede yon, kasi once na nag-exceed ka within 12.7 yung duct ng velocity mo, so it will provide or it will produce sounds. Okay, so we have here the explanation. So this is from your ASHRAE HVAC system. So aerodynamic sound is generated in ducts. So makita mo palagi are always from, usually ang sounds are from fans, major sources. Okay, but yung elbow, dampers, branch takeoffs, air modulations are become the other sources once na nagkaroon ka ng increase in velocity ng duct mo. Okay. So that's why explain nung ano na ito, ng code o ng we call that handbook ng ASHRAE. Okay, so knowing that we have the criteria, knowing that we have the criteria 12.7, now we can use also 4 inches na for all the branches. So now we're going to test if all those we're going to test if all these flow rate are tawag dito, below 12.7. So since ang 4 inches by 4 inches, so hindi na rin tayo pwede pang lumiit dyan. So we shall test kung ano yung magiging sizes nito. So from here, so we have now ang CFM natin, since this is 40, so nabawasan na yung 120. So this will become ano na lang, so this will become 80. So from here you have 80 CFM. Okay. Now, so from 80 CFM, so we'll compute yung ilan yung size ng duct natin. So again, continuity equation, you have your area times your velocity. So we have 80 cubic feet per minute. Then we have 1 minute, again conversion, which is you have your 60 sec. Tapos we have now your height times the width times your velocity. So we use again 0.33 feet times 0.33 feet. Okay, then multiply by the velocity. So finally we have the velocity is equal to, so we have the velocity of 12.24. so this will be feet per second. So this is equal also to also equal to 3.73 meter per second. So this is again is less than 12 point, sabi doon, so that is less than 12.7. so this is again less than 12.7, which is 12.7 meter per second, which is okay. Okay, so we can size now, so we can give this, the size of this duct is also 4 inches by 4 inches. So the same also here. So since kanina na check natin, So this is also can be show us 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay, then lastly we have now also you have here 4 inches by 4 inches. So the velocity is also the same yung katulad ng kanina. So we have the velocity then yun 9.8 feet per second. No. So this is branches. Okay. So we have ito 6.2. So velocity natin dito is 6.2 feet per second. And the velocity natin dito is 12.24. So this is 12.24 feet per second. Okay, then this is also 6.2 feet per second. So this is again 6.2 feet per second. So we have now determined how to size nung duct ninyo. Okay, so the next topic will discuss yung how you going to calculate yung pressure drop natin siya.